Hello. Good morning. Welcome to Galil. You are back for episode 3 of the Tudor Saga, and goddamn, I'm excited to be back with you and have the party gathered once again. So, without any further ado, we'll hand it over to Kevin for the recap of what happened 7 years ago.
Last time on the Tudor Saga, the party stayed at the castle for the night after having discovered the kobold threat, and in the morning awoke to the news of something happening. And they went over to the execution pit and noticed that the despotic Tudor was attempting to assassinate the Maid of Honor. Fairheart would have none of it, and in a fit of blind and emotional rage, jumped into the pit. As this occurred, Lurith was nowhere to be seen, but Brother Bonk sprung into action and immediately sought to provide assistance to his new friend Fairheart and to the maiden that was trapped at the bottom of the pit. Kevin Fairheart, however, experienced an existential crisis while in the pit and attempted to defeat the pit monster that had taken the lives of so many, but in doing so, sustained quite a bit of injury as creepy things started creeping up his feet. As the Maid of Honor was being roped out of the pit by Brother Bonk, Fairheart shot his grappling hook onto the wall and then jumped onto Brother Bonk's line, and Brother Bonk, in a masterful feat of strength, pulled Fairheart out of the pit, and he and the Maid of Honor were both saved. After Fairheart and Tudor had a confrontation in which Fairheart threw a religious symbol given to him by Tudor years ago into the pit as it closed, and promised to never see his face again until he was here to kill him, the party departed with Micah. Micah provided some advice and a hearty feast, and Fairheart swore a pledge to protect the Maid of Honor, who will be now joining the party as the name I'm currently forgetting. Drusilla, thank you. And finally, Half Patches ghosted the entire party by disappearing mid-execution based on some sort of pretext about being an envoy and not having any interest in this sort of intrigue, and has not been seen since. The episode ended with Fairheart and Micah in conversation, with Fairheart claiming that he would overthrow Tudor in time.
Well, I guess that's not terrible recap. That is not where the scene ended. That's just where you left.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's probably accurate.
We ended up going on for a little afterwards. Nothing major, but the party has headed out and are on their way eastward, heading towards the Caverns of Skriel. And as you were leaving town, there wasn't anything particularly noteworthy or out of the ordinary. You did notice that there's definitely a lot fewer kobolds in town, but there still are some, and that is relatively unremarkable because, as you mentioned earlier, there are a significant history built up between those kobolds, both Skriel and other kobolds within the country of Alaya, and particularly within the city of Aliar.
So are we noticing any genociding of the kobolds right now?
No.
Okay.
No, you definitely notice that there are less kobolds within the city than you would have otherwise expected. But it does seem like, a bunch of them have kind of understood that the goings on don't portend well for them. And it does not seem like there is an aura of like they're trying to flee because they've done anything wrong or anything like that, or that there is any abject over the top persecution, but just a general shift of feelings. And because there are so many questions about what has been going on, and there are very few answers forthcoming, that some have just decided that maybe it's best to pursue their fortunes elsewhere. And then there are some that are still, sticking it out. And there would definitely be some people within the city that are, more openly hostile towards kobolds. There are some that are, cautioning that it might be better to, not act without answers. But you guys, again, have really not been in the city much. You've been you were in the castle, just passing through. You really haven't been out in the city to really have a great finger on the pulse. However, as your conversations with Mike have gone, you kind of learn about what has been going on. And again, within our lives, it's like 2 months since the beginning, but this is literally still just the very next day. It has been 10 hours since the wedding. So there's not been much time. Everybody's still kind of not knowing all that much about what's going on. And so the
busy 10 hours.
Huh?
Busy 10 hours.
Very busy 10 hours, yes. And so obviously, like, those that have left town, they are not fully packed. It's not like they took their time and considered their moves. And the people that left, particularly kobolds that left, have done so in a rather hurried and unexpected fashion. So as you guys have passed through the countryside, you have noticed some of those groups of kobolds moving on. I'm sure that Kevin has made conversation with them because you want to interrogate everybody. But you just kind of gotten the sense from them that there has not been any, active violence or any overt threats made towards them, anything like that. They're just feeling like the general sense of unease, and that maybe it might be a good idea to just get out of the city for a little while.
Can we ask some of the kobolds if they know anything about Skriel while we're walking out? Like, just ask them randomly.
Like, what's going on?
Like what?
Like what's going on there right now?
Yeah, just general questions about Skriel. Like,
Is there some sort of kobold?
Any of the ones that are living in the city, a lot of them are going to be of the Skriel clan, but they have not been there. Like, there's not many people that are like commuting because it is a long journey. So there's a good relationship, but a lot of the people that have stayed, or a lot of the kobolds that stayed,
so basically using standard active listening techniques and speaking to the kobolds, we cannot get any information about any any goings-ons or rumors about Skriel.
You don't really know, like, they don't really have any particular information to give you. They're just as confused as you are about why these allies of the kingdom would have suddenly turned on the kingdom. They don't seem to have any kind of information as to what's behind them, but you do notice that you are able to have conversations with all of them normally.
Okay.
And so as you continue heading east, you approach the outer wall of the officially protected country. And that is where we find ourselves on the map now. And as you approach the wall, you notice a gigantic, magnificent orc clad in the armor that you would, Fairheart specifically, would recognize as, the armor of the military. And you would know Wall Captain Welvar. Probably not super well because he doesn't spend all that much time in the city, but you would be familiar enough with some of the higher ranking officials within the military that you would at least know who he is. And he is standing out by the wall as he noticed y'all coming, and approaches and hails you and says, I recognize Fairheart, and says, "Hey, Fairheart, how y'all doing? Where you headed?"
I don't say a word.
I might look from him to Fairheart and then back to him and go, Fairheart, care to introduce us?
I introduce them and then just keep staring down the military guy.
It's been a hard day.
I'll go up and offer my hand.
I'm not in the condition to speak right now.
I'll go up and offer my hand and basically shake his hand.
Well, Captain Welvar warmly and says, "Okay, well, I mean, if you're on your own business, far be it from me to pry. I just wanted to say hello and send y'all on your way. If there's any assistance that I can offer, then just let me know."
In my most commanding voice, I break out of the stare down and I ask him, "What know you of Skriel, Captain?"
He seems completely unaffected by your commanding voice, and looks at you and says, "Boy, I am not the person that you need to be having an attitude with. But as far as the Skriel, I know that this is the way to their primary caverns, and I know that they have been allies of the city and the country for a long time. I know that there are some murmurings about some things happening at the castle yesterday, but there seems to be a lot more questions than answers, and so I don't really know. Is that is like, maybe you can enlighten me as to what happened at the castle. I assume that you were there. I was not.
Brother Bonk, would you like to take this?
Yeah, well, everyone's going to find out sooner or later. Hordes of kobolds came and tried to overrun the castle, and the princess has been abducted.
Oh, that's terrible. Viara, does anybody know? Is she okay? Do we know what's happened? Where she's gone? Who took her? What?
That's what we're trying to find out. The only thing that we've got going for us is that it was hordes of kobold. But
I stop Brother Bonk right there and I say, "Brother, we do not know if they were kobolds."
True. Many of them seem to be identical to each other, so they may not be kobold born, as opposed to kobold made.
I snap out of my funk and I say, Captain, my apologies. My attitude is not with you, sir. Having seen what I've seen over the last day, and having experienced what I've experienced, I am in a period of shock and dismay. If my emotions overtook me, they were most certainly not directed at you, a man for whom I have immense respect. And I go on to give him the executive rundown of what we noticed, and I show him the bow and the flags that I have left, and tell him that it is not the kobolds of the city, and that they are innocent, and that I would expect of a follower of our god that he not harm innocent kobolds.
He might not be a religious, in the like a religious order like you are. I think he's more of a military man.
Oh, okay. I'll still make a godly appeal first.
I am. It is not my charge to harm innocents.
That's great to hear, buddy.
So with that, he motions towards the guardhouse off to the south of the path, and they raise the portcullis and allow y'all to pass through.
As we're leaving, I say, "Hey, bud, do you have a smoke?"
Yeah, he grins at you and motions you to come into the guardhouse.
I follow him into the guardhouse.
And he busts out a little pouch and he rolls you up a nice little cone of some pretty dank herb and sends you on your way.
I give him a hug as we're leaving and say, "There's never been a beef between you and I, bud."
No, that has not. And I understand your attitude. I understand where you might just be a little on edge with all of the goings on. And thankfully, I am an even-tempered man, and my military training allows me to not be swayed by insults such as you have delivered. So just keep that in mind, that if you speak out of turn to others, they might not be so easily forgiving.
I give him a hug and tell him I love him as I leave.
He's on drugs.
And he just
I love you, man.
looks at you as you release the hug and walk away. He's just kind of shakes his head like, maybe he already smoked it.
And thank you to Frazzle from the Online Inn for the raid. Much appreciated, good sir. For those of you just joining us, this is the Tudor Saga. Rick, why don't you go ahead?
This is a campaign that we are running in the world of Galil using the Pathfinder 2nd Edition rule set. And as y'all actually get to the gate, and this is important for you because Fairheart, I don't know if you have ever actually been outside the gate, but y'all see as soon as you pass that portcullis, the countryside leading up to the wall has just been absolutely ravaged and torn asunder. And you would know that this is something that happened throughout the course of the war, actually relatively early on in the war between the humans and the elves, and that there were massive magical forces being levied against the walls, and that through a significant unified force, that those advances were able to be repelled at the walls, and that was like within the first. They don't have exact dates for it anymore because of the ravages of war, but that was within the first 100 years of the country's founding, very, very early on in the war. And so there is just a huge chasm rent in the earth, and there's a bridge that crosses it. And unfortunately, I could not actually make it deep enough on Dungeon Alchemist. So it looks like it's only, 10, 20 feet down, but it's a fucking ways. Like, that is a big ass hole rent in the earth, and nothing really happens with it. You guys are able to move across the bridge and continue across your journey.
Cool.
Rick, what should I label the cigarette that the captain gave me in my inventory?
Smoked.
Okay.
Oh, you haven't smoked it yet?
No, hell no. I'm keeping it.
It's going to be a combat. What falls into your armor?
All right. Do we see any threats on the horizon, or do we look like we're chilling, we're getting out of there, and that's it?
Yeah, you continue on through. That one was really actually just about setting up I just wanted to show y'all the land beyond the wall.
Cool.
So you continue heading on eastward. You notice that clouds are starting to come together in the sky, and it's still pretty sunny, pretty comfortable. You're just heading along eastward. There's very little in terms of actual goings on. Once you've gotten outside the walls, you're not really running into very many groups of kobolds or anything like that. And after about an hour, you arrive at this clearing, or not the clearing, which you're continuing on the path, and you arrive at this map that is now on your screen. You guys will all be on the left side here. So go ahead and place yourselves.
All I see is darkness.
I see
darkness as well. I'm resetting the map on the.
I think that tokens have to be in before you get vision.
Yeah, that's probably it.
And I can't recenter this map on the stream for some reason.
Oops. Sorry.
Won't drag. Oh, wait, here it went. Okay. Got it.
Forest.
We're positioning. Wait, what? I see it on the stream view, but not on my personal stream.
You won't see anything for your mini until you have your mini.
And how do I get my mini?
Actors.
I was working on drawing them all, dropping them all in so that people could.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boom,
Thanks,
there.
Ben. Oh, there we go. Appreciate it.
And okay. Ben, go ahead and give me a D100.
Okay. What's the command for that?
/R space D100.
'83. Yeah, my sister was born.
The year my sister-in-law was born.
I can't even say it was the year I was conceived. Or should I say, the year the clock broke.
The year no. Very polite.
Okay.
Half Patches is dead. Long live Half Patches.
Half is not dead. He's just fucking fucked up.
He just ghosted us at an execution. What an ass.
Oh, Laura,
Here's
you in right now.
Sorry.
is that your character? Is that your character talking, or is that you talking about Half Patches?
This is meta conversation. It's me talking about Half Patches.
Okay, well,
Actually, no, it's my character. It's Fairheart saying this. Why did Half Patches ghost us at an execution?
because Half Patches was a diplomat first and foremost, and thwarting an execution by the head of the crown is way, way bigger than anything he had any reasonable expectation to be doing.
Thinking I'm clever, I say, he's a diplomatic asshole.
All right, so as you continue on the path, you see an area where two hills have are split by the path, and you see that there is a merchant's cart all busted up by those hills, and there seems to be a figure lying prone on the path a little bit past it, but you can't really make anything out due to all of the trees and the distance and the rubble of the cart in the way.
I tell the party, hey, I've got shield cover. I'm gonna go in full frontal. Why don't you guys take the sides and try to flank them?
I'm going to
Brother Bonk, do you know what flanking means?
How smart is Brother Bonk?
Yeah, I've got wisdom but not intelligence.
Yeah,
This looks...
Yeah, but your intelligence isn't negative, so your character is, well, not smart, is not super stupid.
Yeah. I want to... Wait, where do you want me?
I'd like it if you'd like to go take one side and for someone else to take the other side.
How tall are these hills? Is it a cliff? Is it just a hill? Do I need to climb it?
It's a pretty substantial cliff. It's almost like the path for the road that you're on was blown or carved or dug out or magically enacted somehow. But the hills are not insubstantial.
Okay, what's the rule with climbing with Pathfinder?
You can attempt to climb if you want to. It looks like it would be fairly simple for you. You're a pretty athletic person. You've got some good muscles on you and a good working knowledge of how to move your body. And it seems like there are ample footholds and handholds within the cliffs that you would be able to scale it relatively easily. It looks like it's about 20 to 25 feet up to the landing that's directly in front of you.
Okay, so doable, but half speed or something like that. I cannot. It says I collide with the wall.
Oh yeah, I can move you up. Well, I just need a athletics check to climb it.
All right, 1 moment. PC's Brother Bonk.
And while you're doing that, Drusilla is just going to walk forward. She sees somebody wounded on the ground.
I hate that bitch.
I'm like, Drusilla, what the fuck are you doing?
She's doing what she does. She's a healer. She's going to heal.
Yeah, and I was about to give her shield cover. I literally just told her. What is she doing?
Bit of metagaming.
Well, you said you were going forward to provide shield cover, and then you stood in one spot.
Bit of metagaming here.
Well, I didn't know we hadn't rolled initiative or anything, so I was like...
Because there's no initiative to roll.
Okay, then I'm right in front of her.
Okay, there you go.
With raised shield.
Behind you. And
I tell her to have a look at the body, and then I'll protect her.
When y'all get to, okay, 22 is good. You climb the hill with no problem, and now you have a much better vantage. So all of you, now you're going to be there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Lurith, what form are you in? Where are you? What are you doing?
I'm in my humanoid form.
Okay.
And just to recall my memory, I hate Drusilla, right?
You hate Drusilla? Why?
Isn't she my former relation?
No.
Oh,
No. That was not an elf. That was Tigra.
gotcha. I'm in human form, but, I had a case of mistaken identity for a moment there.
Okay. And so where are you? Are you over here hiding by the wreckage of the cart?
I'm keen to see what's in there.
Okay. The cart appears to already have been ransacked. There is nothing of any substantial value. It's mostly just broken wood and pieces of metal. And everybody from this vantage can see that there is a minotaur just laid the fuck out on the path. Drusilla reaches down, does a little bit of heeldy-weeldy, bubbledy-gook, and all of a sudden the Minotaur comes to. He kind of shakes his head and looks around, and he's like, what the fuck, where am I, who are you, and what the hell happened to me?
The better question is, who are you? We're just humble travelers, and we find you here passed out. Drusilla here wakes you up, and you ask us who we are? We just saved you, sir.
Well,
And the name is Philip.
I don't know who you are. I think it's still a fair question. I am Anton, and I don't know what the hell happened. I was just on my way with this shipment going to Lakeside, and all of a sudden, what day is it? What?
I personally motioned the brother Bong to come closer to the edge of the cliff. And I tell him the day, and I tell him what's been going on with the kobold, and I ask him, well, what's the last thing you remember, buddy?
I was, I guess it would have been yesterday that I was taking the cart over to Lakeside. Just nothing special, bunch of foodstuffs and whatnot, buys. And, I was making a pretty good time, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, I just got fucking, I guess, got waylaid and knocked out. I don't know what happened. I don't remember seeing anybody or anything. I just, next thing I was going along, I passed through, and then I woke up looking at you.
I turn to Drusilla and I ask her, hey, Drusilla, do you recognize what his injuries might be from?
My diagnosis, nasty bump on the noggin, most likely caused by bad basing. Except she doesn't say that last part.
That's great. That's great. I'm like, well, Anton, whereabouts do you live, friend?
Do I see anything of concern from up here?
Brother Bonk, you see clear as far as your eyes can go. There's, it's a little bright for you, so you don't really like looking out hard because the sun is full in the sky. But there's nothing really out of the ordinary that you notice. What direction are you looking primarily?
Well, when I was up here, I was looking up towards this direction, and now that I'm where I am looking down at the party.
Okay. Yeah, you have not seen anything really that sparks your intrigue. You do notice that, rather than climbing up, you have a way down right there. kind of towards the top right here. It kind of slopes down a little gentler, so you don't have to climb down. You can just walk.
Yeah.
But like aside from that, there's nothing really that catches your eye. Drusilla says, yeah, it looks like he was knocked on the head pretty hard, and I guess it would have had to be really hard because Minotaurs do have some pretty notoriously thick skulls. They're a very hardy folk. But as far as what could have done it specifically, no, I have no way of knowing.
I walk.
Were you giving friendly headbutts to people?
When I'm trying to deliver a headbutt, it is usually the farthest thing from friendly. But no.
Come on! Don't knock it till you try it.
No, if I knock it, it's gonna die it.
I walk this trajectory up the hill without saying a word, and I just look to see if there's anything that looks unnatural or out of place. I make sure to just walk the entire perimeter.
Okay. Again, tell me specifically where you are looking and what you're looking at.
Okay, so I was here I was protecting, giving her shield cover. I walk south by south.
No, I see your movement. Like I'm
okay. So I start by looking.
Are your eyes?
I start by looking towards the west to see if I see anything towards the west.
The west is where it came from. You mean the east?
Yeah. Sorry, I look east, and I look northeast and southeast.
Okay.
And after that, I walk southwest and walk around that perimeter thing and try to see if I find anything unnatural or if it doesn't look like it belongs.
You do see kind of heading off to the south. Kind of there seems to be a little trail of like what you would guess is probably some of the like the leavings from the cart. Some packaging and whatnot heading off towards the south, but nothing. You don't see any noteworthy presences of like any other beings or anything like that. Anything that you would not expect to see in a natural setting. There are, of course, some birds around, some little fucking prairie dogs off in the way and shit like that, but nothing noteworthy.
So if I'm here and looking south, how long would it take me to walk the trail of the packaging?
It's not so much that there's a trail of the packaging. It's just like you kind of get the impression that that would be the direction that whatever bandits kind of took off in, because it's not so much that like they left a trail as you got your arms full of shit and you fucking you're long and you drop a little bit. It's more like that.
I'm going to maintain a southern orientation with my shield up and talk to them from behind.
I'm going to ignore all this stuff that's happening and walk past the trail and see what I can find.
You missing anything, buddy?
It looks...
And I gesture at his stuff.
As far as me personally, he kind of pats himself down. Like, no, I think I've got all of my personal effects, but it looks like my little wagon there got pretty done in for. And, well, I mean, this road used to be safe.
Ain't nowhere safe.
We asked him if he saw any kobolds.
I haven't. I mean, not since I left the city. There was, I mean, there's plenty of them in Aliara, but no, I haven't seen any while I was out this way. No.
Huh. I look through the remnants of his cart and I look at what's in it and try to like make a quick inventory in my head.
You see broken wood and broken wood.
They literally took everything?
Yeah, it's just ransacked.
What were you carrying, bud? Anton?
Just general foodstuffs and like general goods.
Do I get the impression he's telling me the truth?
Roll a sense motive.
Yeah, sure.
Sense motive. What would that be?
Yeah, what is sense motive? Would that be
Spent the entire first session doing. You should know this.
Oh, right.
I know it was 12 years ago, but come on.
It's a perception check, isn't it?
Fuck, I don't... Damn it.
I'm
No.
pretty sure it's just a perception check.
No, it's some kind of fucking...
Is it a core skill?
While you're fumbling around trying to figure out his motive, he's like, I'm telling the truth, man.
Yeah, like, you don't have any reason to suspect that he is lying. He seems to be telling the truth. He seems to be a merchant who was on the path with a cart full of stuff. Not his, like...
I rolled a nat 20 on perception.
Yeah.
Just going to make a remark.
You are 100% absolutely fucking certain that if this guy is not telling you the truth, it's because he doesn't know it, not because he's lying to you.
We're going to make a remark about how he's certainly going to be selling any secondhand wagons with that level of honesty.
Sorry, Steve, you did your typical Steve thing there, and I didn't hear a fucking word you said.
Lewis is going to do the whole... I guess you won't be selling any secondhand wagons soon. Therefore, your honesty is of the utmost levels.
He kind of chortles to himself and at you like, yeah, this wagon's probably not going anywhere. I better pick myself up and head on back to the city, though. Wait, what are y'all doing out here?
We are going to Skriel. Do you know anything about the route between here and there, Anton?
I know that you got a journey ahead of you, but no, I've never actually done that journey myself. I know you got to go all the way around the Dragonmount for it, but I have never been past the drink ferry other than to go to Lakeside. So, you can. I mean, I'm pretty familiar with the path along there, but I would say you probably don't have anything to worry about. But I would have thought I didn't have anything to worry about, and then all of a sudden, here it is today, and here I am talking to you guys with no merchandise in my cart and no cart to take back.
You going to be okay getting back to the city?
I would imagine so. I mean, one would have thought I'd be okay to make it to Lakeside too. So you never know in this world, but I think
what a world we live in. The guards couldn't guard you this close to the exit. Despicable.
I asked him if he has a smoke.
He says, "No, sir, I ain't got nothing. I got clothes on my back."
I asked him if he would like one.
I mean, it'll certainly help me set my journey off on the right foot.
I light up the smoke and smoke like a quarter of it, then hand it to him and say, "Here, in the name of Solos."
He says, thank you so much. And he stands up, and he full height. And you're a pretty big dude, but this motherfucker, Howard, he makes you feel like half patches.
Before he leaves, I'm removing the smoke from my inventory. I asked him, "Hey, bud, can you tell me how you smoke a cigarette if your lips can't form suction?"
He answered you without words by taking the pretty fat fucking joint, putting it up to one nostril, closing the other one, and he gone.
I give him a little salute. And how am I feeling right now?
And then stands up to his full height, squares his shoulders back, and then he does the fucking drops down a little bit and scoots the earth back with his hooves, and then he just fucking takes off, and all of this, you just see the smoke coming behind him as he exhales, as he just books it full speed, going off screen, following.
Naruto runs.
Before we do anything, I'm like, hey, Drusilla, you know that whole like running
What a
forward?
powerful curative.
What did I miss when I was off having nature calling? Because all of a sudden everything was sort of like, oh yeah, we're figuring out what was in the wagon. Come back, and he's like, right, hoofing it, meow.
You missed Minotaur getting
I missed Minotaur getting what?
high.
Getting high.
How do I feel, Rick, having smoked a quarter of that thing?
Or a Constitution check.
Oh, you want me to do a Constitution check? Shit. Let's roll a Constitution check on the page where my Constitution is, which I can't find.
Main fucking page where your stats are.
Oh, here we go. And how do I roll it, though?
With your hands.
I can't. I have to roll a d20 plus 1. Okay.
Yeah.
11.
All right, you're feeling pretty fucking toasty.
Okay.
Lightweight.
Have a -1 on initiative.
Okay.
Lightweight.
It was pretty good shit.
I'm gonna spend my high because I really just wanted tobacco, but I'm gonna spend my high thinking about Tudor, and I want to see if I have any thoughts that come to mind about his motives and what he's done while I'm under the influence.
Okay, so in between one missing bull and one high cleric, I'm guessing we should probably not go after the bandits.
Well, the bull is not missing. He took off back to the city.
I'm like, Bonk, just do you. I'll follow. I'll be right in front with my shield.
And Fairheart, as far as your thought process, you keep trying to pursue intelligent lines of thought and trying to actually suss out some kind of reasoning, but
It's like hunting fairies.
you just keep running into blind rage. Like, it just every time you think about what could be behind things or what possible reasoning he could have had, you just keep getting more and more angry, and you're just like, you know what, fuck it. I don't even want to think about that guy. He's just a fucking dick, and that's all there is to it. I can't do nothing about it. I'm just gonna do me, you know?
Do I feel certain about this?
You don't feel certain about anything by nature of your character.
Okay.
But you do feel intensely that you are not to blame for actions. You definitely still have your doubts and insecurities as to your actions and how you could have done things differently, and you are certain that there are ways that you could have handled things better, but you're not blaming yourself for, like, what I think you're specifically trying to get at, correct me if I'm wrong, is him kicking Drusilla off of the fucking bridge into the pit.
Basically.
You are at peace with the fact that there is nothing you could have done, or that is not in any way your fault. That is just, yeah, he's a fucking asshole, and that's it.
I crack a joke about punching a king in the back of the head and then shut up.
Drusilla actually laughed.
Meanwhile, Brother Bonk is wondering whether or not, like, if you just need to touch grass, if you need to go fishing, if you need to be left the fuck alone, or if you need someone to pat you on the head and sing Soft Kitty.
I hug Brother Bonk.
They're the soft kitty, warm kitty.
Little
Or
Paula.
suggest that we go off and structure these bandits.
Yeah, don't fucking tell me.
You're going to go off and chase bandits?
Yep.
All right. I know that you're not feeling too great at the moment, Fairheart, but we should probably help track down the bandits.
You mean you want to track the bandits instead of heading on to Skriel?
I mean, it seems to be in the same direction.
No, the bandits is south. Skriel is east.
Yeah, but there's this massive chasm in our way.
I'm like,
Chasm's behind you guys.
Chasm's
I'm like-
behind us.
Bonk, Lurith, like, we gotta.
I get
like,
very disoriented outside of the forest.
we gotta like go places. Part of me feels that these are just ordinary bandits, and I got to go back and kill Tudor. So I'm like, I'll follow. I'll do what you guys want, but do you guys really think this is the best idea?
Fairheart,
Sure.
you got us. You lead the way.
Yep. Let's keep on going east.
Like, I'm feeling a little woozy, guys. How about I get in front of you with my shield and you tell me where to go?
I grab him by the shoulders and go, all right, raise your shield. All right, turn this way and now forward.
All right, let's go.
And march.
All right. Thank you.
The wheels on the bus go around. Oh,
Left, right, left.
Left, right, left, right, left, right, left. All right. Well, I guess we're gonna haul ass, right?
Yes. Okay. All right. Give to me a moment because somehow I didn't have the next one loaded in there already. So now I need to fucking load Dungeon Alchemist. Wait, no, there it is. There it is right there. Import data. Fuck, I hate how goddamn long Dungeon Alchemist takes to load. Sorry I didn't have this prep beforehand. So you continue eastward for a while. What is everyone looking at? Anyone?
I'm looking at the sky, confused why there isn't trees all above me. My eyes hurt.
I mean, there are trees around, but definitely not as many as you would prefer. And you do feel a sense of ease that you did not feel in the city because you are away from settlements. Part of it, is because you're also away from humans. But also a big part of it is the fact that you are away from civilization. You are, even though you want there to be more trees around, and you've got this nasty ass ugly fucking road through the middle of this beautiful nature, you definitely feel better than you did, being surrounded by fucking walls inside the castle.
Brother Bonk is probably going in between, concentrating on the road ahead, making sure that Fairheart's okay, and then either getting bored and going, ooh, butterfly, or getting bored and going back to training where he stretch or do I don't know, flips, cartwheels, whatever, but whilst he's bored, just moving forward at the same time, doing air punches.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
just being bored and like just whenever he's got a spare moment, like sparring with invisible enemies, probably freaking fair hard out whilst he's high. What else is finding?
While my high is wearing off, I'm gonna just I'm gonna scan the horizon, like based on my training, for any threats the entire time, albeit with my diminished initiative, all the while praying to Solos, just like in continuous prayer.
As you begin to pray to Solos, all of a sudden the group is just engulfed in a massive shadow as the biggest fucking thing that you have ever seen in your entire life flies overhead. It doesn't swoop down. It doesn't kind of have any interaction with you guys at all. It's just a big ass motherfucking bird that could probably pick up all four of you in one claw, just flying overhead, minding its own business, not to bother you.
I immediately go to Drusilla and get down like on my knees and like I raise the shield over us, but focusing on her.
I turn to Drusilla, not Drusilla.
She
Lurith, and go, friend of yours?
No.
Yeah.
Drusilla kind of brushes you off, like, get off me, human. What, have you never seen a fucking rock before?
That's exactly why I didn't elaborate.
I'm like in a confused state. I'm like, what, Drusilla? Explain this to me like I'm an idiot.
I pick up a rock from the ground and show you a rock. Have you never seen one of these?
Yeah.
She says, I have to explain it to you like you're an idiot. You are an idiot.
I knew she was going to say that, by the way, so I'm not an idiot. I'm just high.
You knew that, but Fairheart did not.
Oh, Fairheart knew that. Oh, man. I just didn't want to be like, explain it to me like I'm 5, because that would be like anachronistic or whatever.
No, I mean, I get what you're saying. You're good. But she, yeah, just...
I'm like, what the fuck is this thing?
It's a big ass fucking bird. Like, they're very dangerous.
It's a big bird. Its best friend is called Snuffleupagus.
And it's yellow.
It doesn't seem to want to attack us or anything?
No, it's literally Big Bird from Sesame
over.
Street.
But has it passed us or is it hovering above us?
No, it literally just flew overhead. Like, y'all were in shadow for a couple of seconds.
Okay. Oh, can we look around and watch it fly away and see if we notice anything interesting?
Have you ever seen a falcon or an eagle flying around?
Just in circles whilst it's hunting?
Yeah, just like riding the winds, not even just majestic in their own element, not expending hardly any energy, just doing their thing. That's exactly what it's doing. There's nothing special about it aside from the fact that, goddamn, that is a huge fucking bird.
What the hell is it trying to hunt? Maybe the minotaur from earlier.
I put my arm around Brother Bonk's shoulder and I'm like, that's a cool fucking bird, bruh. And then I go back to praying to Solos.
We were also hoping to be a friend of Lurith's, but no such luck.
Well, I get back to my praying.
Pretty much. An interesting sight. But it's money friend business, so we'll mind ours.
I'm like,
Given the size difference, it would be like it attacking you guys would be like a wolf attacking an anthill.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it definitely noticed that you were there, but
Just that we're not big enough to worth hunting.
for it to actually hunt.
Yeah.
As I'm removing my hand from Brother Bonk's shoulder, I'm like, dude, you're really smart, man. Thank you.
Do what? Man, I have a hard time identifying different numbers from the letters, man.
It's all good. It takes different. All of Solos's children are needed to whatever. To like
Needed to whatever. No, leave it there. Just leave it at needed for whatever. Oh, I like to believe that's exactly Fairheart's words. Oh, so
Whatever, sister.
Whatever.
So we continue east.
Yes, you continue east. Another couple of hours pass. You notice there's a bit of a breeze picking up. The clouds are continuing to gather, and mostly just smooth passage. Nothing really bothering you. You haven't met any other groups of humanoids or anything like that. You're continuing on, and then
Oof.
Big map.
we arrive at a fork in the road. You see that the path continues to the east and also forks off to the north, and there is a settlement here, relatively large building, and a little garden out in front of it, and a sign hanging out in front that says the Drink Ferry.
I'm like, I tell Brother Bonk, hey, I'm hungry and thirsty. How about you?
I could eat.
Maybe they have some donuts. Want to check it out?
Ooh, donuts. How long have we been traveling?
At this point, we're going to say about 3-4 hours probably. So it's about 6 o'clock.
How many hours of daylight do we have left?
12 more because the sun won't go down until 8 o'clock tomorrow.
How long are we? How far are we from Skriel?
Days.
Okay. I know
If we stop, we should only stop quickly. We've still got a lot of land to go to.
I know the Drink Ferry quite well. I tell everybody. I'm like, let's head on in.
Would he?
I don't think you would.
Really? Because if you check our DMs and what you sent me,
You've been told something about it, yes, but you've never been there because you've never been outside the wall. Remember?
I thought we had discussed that I'd been outside the wall for hunting trips with Tudor.
Would that have been in this direction given the devastation of the war?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think you've ever passed the wall. Like,
Okay.
you've been outside of the city. You might have even been outside of, the protected area of Aliara. But yeah, you probably, if for hunting, you would have gone west. You would have gone to the woods.
Rick, can you check our chat?
You're going to have to give me a minute to do that because
Okay.
I got to close out of Alchemist first.
Mm-hmm.
Where did I put... I actually had a name for Anton, and
Anton was a good name.
I came up with that on the spot because I had given him a name, but I forgot it and didn't know where I had written it, and it was actually on his character. So if I had just double clicked, it would have brought it up. All right.
What was his character name supposed to be?
Huh?
What was his name supposed to be?
I'm not going to tell you that because I'm going to just reuse it another time.
Here I was hoping you'd be like, yeah, my first name is Fred, but I just go by Anton. It's my middle name. Fred's my dad's name. Runs in the family. I'm Fred the Fifth.
What is this? I know I made the mini for him. All right, you go into the drink fairy, and you're greeted by a host of fairies. Go figure.
I'm like, this seems like a very good place, and I want them here.
They look at you, they shake their heads, and they're like, all right, can we get anybody else a drink?
I'm like, Micah.
Do you have donuts?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
I'm like, Micah sent me.
Could I have coffee and donuts?
One of them
Please.
flies over to you, Brother Bonk, and says, yeah, absolutely. Go on, grab a seat, and I'll be right back with that.
Yeah. Brother Bonk is like super thrilled. Trying to stay calm.
Is this the point where my character is going to show up?
Yes, that is right. There is somebody else in the establishment other than the face. I just forgot to place you.
Okay.
Oh, and Rick, did you get my message about the thing?
Oh, no, I did not. Let me go. There we go. Fucking load. Thank you. Reread it.
Yeah, I did reread it, and I presume the answer is no for now,
Yeah.
right?
Back this way. Yes.
Yeah, okay. That just making sure.
But this is that drink fairy, obviously.
Yeah, okay.
Would anybody else like anything? It's very odd to see an orc, 2 elves, and a human all traveling together.
I'll take 3 ales and ask them if they have anything to smoke.
No. Brother Bonk is like, I mean, no.
I am.
We got some meat we can smoke.
I'm referring to tobacco, though. Truly.
Well, you might want to specify.
Well, no, because I like to leave it purposefully ambiguous to see what they give me.
Okay.
Please just give him tobacco.
Harry flies up to you and says, well, how much are you looking for?
I look in my coin purse and I say, bear with me here. I am looking for 3 silver pieces worth.
3 silver pieces worth of tobacco.
Yes.
We don't have a wagon set.
I don't know what she's selling me. And
She just kind of giggles and flies off. Returns a little bit later with a pack.
all right, well, I give her a bonus silver piece because I'm paying for my ales as well, so I deduct 4 from my stash. And I say thank you very much.
Very much.
Hey,
Yes.
Can I have you? Can I have all of you guys do a perception check?
Yeah.
Sure.
Hope you don't mind, Rick.
Yeah, no, not at all. When you say thank you very much, have you ever seen NCIS?
Like years ago, it's the one that had like the gothy tech chip.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the one. Okay, you remember Gibbs, the leader?
Yeah, Mark Harmon.
Yeah. So when you say thank you very much, you get Gibbsed upside the head by Drusilla.
I'm like, what? And I examine what I was getting to smoke.
I drop a gold coin on the table for them for as payment.
The fairy says, "Oh, thank you very much," and she picks it up, scuttles off, takes the silver pieces from you, scuttles off. Drusilla gets some wine. We bring that out to her. She drops gold.
So,
Off.
so as you guys all do this, Brother Bonk is as you all go through the whole process of ordering. Brother Bonk, when he gets in, before he puts in his order, sees a gigantic, for a kobold, a gigantic kobold. A really weird-looking, gigantic kobold sitting at one of the tables. The rest of you do not notice the 5'6" kobold with the 8-foot-long tail just sitting at one of the tables looking at you like, what the hell are they doing?
As I'm not,
And he is shaking his head at your fairy jokes.
Since I now have a plate of donuts, and I've offered donuts to my compatriots.
I
And
have 3, by the way. Thank you.
yeah, and I still have plenty, I'm guessing. And then I go to this giant AF kobold, and I'm like, donut, you gotta try one. These things are amazing.
Thanks. Sugar's not for me.
And I proceed to stuff 2 more.
So, where are you all headed? They aren't wrong saying it's east. Dragonmount?
I turn to Fair Heart. Is that where we're going?
I'm like, wait, what? Why is there a kobold in a bar?
Kobold?
That's a kobold, Brother Bonk.
But he's huge!
Yeah, he's a really huge kobold. How did I not notice this? And I get up and I'm like, hey, kobold, how are you?
Fine. Name's Kyla.
Kyla, nice to meet you. You're a kobold.
As much as sometimes I wish I wasn't, yes, I am.
I make this observation in the name of our Lord God Solos because your people seem to have just been genocided outside the city.
I'm sorry, what?
Your people, they are a lot of dead kobolds in the
How long have you been in this bar?
I came from the east. Came to this bar and been here a couple, like 5-6 hours.
You ever heard of a place called Skriel?
As much as I'd like to say no, yes. It was where I was born.
Guess where we're going? Hint, it's east of here.
Tyler leans forward, kind of does this smell,
Dragonmount?
does this like smelling sort of thing. Is like, why don't you sit down and have your drink? I'll get some of the more information from the others. You seem like you need to take a relax.
I look at what's been given to me in the pack of smoke, and how many do I have, Rick?
You open the pack, and all you see is sparkles.
I see what?
Sparkles.
I take a little piece of paper and I roll some sparkles up and try to smoke
No. It's already rolled, but like when you, almost like a glitter bomb, but not like a glitter bomb, but like just, it's very magic. You open the pack and it's just twinkly, sparkly, fucking pretty, and you look in there.
And you can take out a stick of pretty.
Yeah, you
And
just
smoke it.
take 12 sticks of pretty in there.
I very carefully take a few puffs on a stick of pretty, and I let the others do their thing.
So, someone else. What was going on? Something about a kobold genocide at a city?
There's lots and lots of dead kobolds out there. We're not sure why. We encountered some that seemed to be husks, clones. We're not sure. But I wouldn't call it a war, but the death toll is equivalent to a war.
What city is this that they did that this happened at?
All of them, as far as we can tell. I'm not from the cities, so I don't know.
You would know what city you were in because you were there for the wedding. It's also the biggest city on this side of the planet, so you would know that you were in Aliara.
The name fills my tongue with vitriol. It was once a lush forest.
All right. I haven't been to the world you guys come from, but I've heard tales of it, and makes sense. So these were Skriel kobolds.
I yell over from where I'm sitting. Yeah, what the hell did you think they were?
That doesn't make any sense.
Sure.
Well,
Like
I'm being purposely
flags.
I'm being purposely deceitful.
Sorry. They had the flags though.
I pull one out of my bag and I'm like, look!
Yeah, that's a Skriel flag. It's like the shittiest version of one I've ever seen made, but it is one.
Then I show him the bow. This look authentic to you, buddy?
Looks like something a wormling would have made in recess time.
It also could have been your cousin.
I haven't been home in over 30 years. I don't count myself amongst their number, so probably not, but none of this makes much sense for the Skriel kobolds. You guys are headed to Skriel?
Well, we're trying to find out where all these kobolds came from. And Skriel's the only place with enough kobolds to have possibly done this. But most of the kobolds were like doubles.
I don't know anything about doubles, but seems like I might want to head home.
Is it you said it wasn't home?
I was still born there, and it's probably a place I still need to go.
Huh.
Just to check.
Guys,
What are you checking on?
To see what the hell is going on. This is way outside of what Skriel kobolds are supposed to do.
what are Skriel kobolds supposed to do?
Creole kobolds.
Like trade?
Nice.
Wait, Creole? What?
What do the kobolds of Skriel do?
Well, we've been allies and trading partners for. They've been allies and trading partners for a long time. For
And why the
many
fuck
around
did they
here.
just storm the city?
That's why I'm saying it makes no sense they'd do that.
You know, I do need to tell you that I did notice, buddy, that Kyla, that a lot of them look the same. Like when I say the same, like identical.
I'm gonna take 2 of the donuts off Brother Bonk's plate and say, these are different, but the same. That is what the kobolds look like.
And
Yeah,
I said,
I get the general idea, but I don't know anything about what
It was
was
for
caused
Brother
that.
Bonk's benefit.
Oh,
and I say I gutted 2 of them, and they had insides. You know.
So there weren't constructs. Is that what it means?
That's what I think, but I don't know much anymore because my reality has been oppressed.
Man, I'm still reeling that this guy's a kobold and not a lizard person.
I think your reality is still being shaken, given how you smell, sir.
Do you know?
Actually, as Fairheart is speaking, like his words are morphing as they're coming out of his mouth. Like y'all are able to understand what he's trying to say, but he is not saying anything intelligent.
I only took like 3 puffs,
He's
Rick.
opening his mouth and just vomiting words or sounds. But
You're forgetting the fact that you smoked fairy glitter.
Like, hey, brother, you want some fairy glitter?
Nah, bro.
I could blow it into your mouth for you.
I may be dumb, but I'm not stupid.
You're not. You're not dumb, and don't let anyone ever tell you that.
Listen, if you guys are headed to Skriel, I was born there, and while I haven't been there in 30 years, if you would have me, I'd be happy to come along.
I clap a hand, albeit gently, on his shoulder, and goes, "Anyone who's friendly? Absolutely. We can take all the friends that we can get."
Thank you. Also, pronoun correction. Not he. Don't blame you for not noticing.
Oh!
No. Okay, no, never mind. I'll shut up.
Is your pronoun they?
Or she?
She.
Ah, she.
Interesting.
Bad Gamma.
I'm like, sorry, with that long tail, I was like, I would never have known. Just FYI.
It's all right. Most
Yeah, the best way to tell kobolds apart is actually by size. Females tend to be significantly larger than males, but with a kobold that is that significantly larger than normal, you probably wouldn't have been able to guess either way.
yeah. It's like it's all right. I haven't felt myself as being a kobold for again like 30 years.
What do you feel like you are?
That's a good question. I
I told you, he's lizard folk.
I spent some time with them actually, but they're assholes. They were fairly welcoming, but that doesn't stop them from being assholes. So I didn't stay with them for all that long.
Okay.
Well, I'd like to inform you that that man in the armor certainly can be one, especially when he starts prattling on about his sun god.
I'm like, you're gonna believe one day there's one true God. His name
Solus?
is
Solus?
Solos.
Solus. Oh yeah. In the world of sand and heat, that's a big god there too.
It's the only God, and don't dare say otherwise.
Right.
Now, Fairheart. Everyone has a right to believe what they believe.
Enough of your crusades. Back to the road.
Do we need any supplies, friends?
I think you've got all the supplies you need.
We might need to. You might want to buy some things for the elf lady. She's fairly lightly. What would be the word?
Equipped.
Oh, yeah. Elf Drusilla, do you require any equipment?
I don't think that they're going to have anything that I need as far as equipment here at basically what amounts to a diner on the side of the road.
I'm going to make some statement about, it's no high street fashion store.
Fair point. We can work some things out. Worst
You don't
case
need
scenario,
any armor?
Surely we can at least get a cloak. Would they have a cloak?
Yeah, get a cloak.
Yeah, this is more of a food place. We can cover that out. So we can cover that stuff out at a later place.
Yeah.
Hearing your conversation, a fairy flies out with a enormous cloak and lays it over Drusilla's shoulders and says, "Here you go, honey. This was left in our lost and found for a while. I don't think anyone's coming back to claim it. You can just have this, and I hope
Is
it'll
that blood?
It's embroidery.
It is clearly too fucking big for her. It is dragging behind her, almost like the train on a wedding dress."
I asked her if she'd like me to make an adjustment to her garment and pull out my
"No, you
dagger.
sit down before you fall down, fucker."
I put my dagger back in its sheath.
No, you put your dagger back in its sheath and you drop it because you can't figure out what a hand is.
You just
hands.
You smoked furry magic, dude.
And I still have 11 3/4 of them left.
So Kyle is gonna go up to Drusilla and it's like, listen, I know how to craft and make and like do little knickknacks. Let me cut the hem off of that for you.
He says, "Oh, thank you, Kai." So is Kai proper?
Yeah, Kyle work fine. So
Lurith goes off to help.
Kai just uses her long claws and just kind of goes along the edge of the bottom hem and just trims off the bottom piece with her long claws.
I'm like, wow, that was very cool.
I take the hemmed bit and fashion it into a loose scarf and put it around Drusilla's shoulders.
At least that doesn't need a lot of crafting. It's kind of there.
I think that would actually count more as a shawl.
Sure.
It was a big piece of gear or of fabric that got cut off.
Hey, Rick, I just seen private chat.
Yep, going now.
All right, so out of character talk. I know what all your characters are. You don't know Kyla. Kyla's a ranger.
Okay.
That you think ranger. You normally think like ranged attacks, right? And she does have those, but her main form of combat is her claws and tail.
Cool.
She uses her ranged weapons for hunting mostly because her occupation is she's a hunter.
Oh, she's gonna get along well with Lurith then. Not.
And I'll have to start going to getting ready for work, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brother Bonk can become sick on the donuts.
Yes.
All right. So Kyla heads outside while you guys finish up. And there's one more thing I would like to, for anyone who's watching what Kyla, who might be watching what Kyla's doing.
I'm trying to watch.
And that's as she goes outside, her skin very slowly starts changing color,
To
going
what?
from the brown going from like browns and tans from inside to kind of greens and lighter browns of outside.
As I'm watching Kyla change color, I'm like, you don't need me to ask the question, do you?
My skin's always been like that. Takes a couple hours, but don't worry about it.
I'm not worried. I'm just like, is this like a functional thing?
You're not sure if it's the drugs, and it's like, yeah, I see it too.
Alright, well, I'm helping Fairheart find his feet whilst he walks outside. And once he's outside, I'm going to be like, one moment, I'm going to go get some more donuts and head back inside, and I'll take my pack and Fairheart's pack to fill both of them with donuts.
Nice. Hashtag encumbered now.
All right, so all that is done. Brother Bonk, you have shit tons of donuts.
Yes!
And metric shit tons of donuts. And then y'all are back outside, ready to head on. To the north is Lakeside. To the east is Dragonmount. And there's a little sign saying, or informing you of that. What are we doing?
Kyla,
Yes.
what's the best way to get to Skriel?
Really, you would just follow the road. Goes around. It goes around Dragonmount. There's not much on Dragonmount to take a look at, anyways. There's some rumors, but not anything specific.
Rumors of what that are not specific.
Yeah, just like rumors that the mountain is more than it seems, and it's dumb. Like they expect the mountain to come alive, and like some people expect the mountain to come alive one day. It's stupid.
That sounds pretty awesome, though.
It will be. I guess it would be. Yeah. I would not want to be anywhere on this world when it happens, though.
Why is that?
I wouldn't want to fight something that big.
Fair point.
That's not something for hunting. That's something you get out of its way.
That is a very fair point.
Damn, I was typing and I actually missed the beginning of that conversation. But oh well, it's okay.
I will defer to whoever in the party wants to go in which direction.
All right. Well, it's still east to Skriel, right?
Well, Lewis and I need to depart very shortly.
Okay. It's still east to Skriel, right? Though.
And by Lewis, I mean Brother Monk.
Yeah.
I would think, given that it's your birthplace, that you might know better than me.
Oh no, that's out of character words for Rick.
Oh, okay.
All right, what did I miss?
Which direction? It's still east to Skriel, right?
Yes. Yeah, you're going around Dragonmount to get to Skriel. There's Lakeside to the north. Just another thing that is not necessary, but y'all heading east.
Okay, I gotta go, guys.
Take it easy,
right.
sweet.
Alrighty, ciao.
Cheers.
All right, you are trained in it, but why are you?
Oh, so Steve left too?
I believe so.
Oh, okay.
There we go. I was wondering what the hell was going on with Fairheart's AC.
How much further can we go as a two-top, you think?
Probably don't want to do combat without them.
Yeah, definitely don't want to do combat without them.
Mm-hmm. So, as we go, Kyla's skin has shifted color, except for a section on her tail that she has written in words. Her skin pattern written in like dark brown lettering on her tail, which she goes in front of Fairheart to show. It's like it says, "Lay off the smokes." just written in brown letters on her tail.
Can I while we're walking, I tell her of what I've gone through with the king that I grew up with over the last, how long has it been? 2 days now?
Day and a half.
Day and a half.
I tell her everything that's happened in a day and a half.
All right. That does that take more than an hour?
Good question. Given how I'm speaking right now, it probably fucking does.
Okay, so by the time you're done speaking, she turns her tail and the lettering has changed, and it says, "Never mind, smoke more."
I'm like, I really just wanted a fucking cigarette. But yeah, no, it's been a tough couple of days. So I'm sobered up a little bit now, Rick, right?
Have you smoked any more?
No.
Physical exertion also helps with that sort of thing, so maybe.
I mean, we're not talking about anything earthly anymore. Like he smoked some really good weed the first time. That has worn off by now. You smoked fairy dust. I don't know whether or not that actually has that.
Well,
Yeah, it probably has.
Hey, actually, you know what? I have a book for this. Because I'm a
book?
crazy,
Yes,
insane
you do.
person.
Yes, you do. So do I.
Oh God!
I have a book that has the rules on drugs.
It's you tell what the rule for smoking fairy dust is.
I will be right there. Drugs, page 41. All right. What do we have? Probably I'd probably call what you smoked Dream a Mist from this book.
Okay.
Okay, roll a d20.
Okay. D20. 6.
Okay, about an hour.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, by the time you're done with your talking, the fairy dust smoke would have done, and been over.
So I ask you what your story is.
My story?
Yeah.
Well, I was born in Skriel. I was born different. Obviously, I'm bigger. I have a bigger tail. I have bigger claws. My skin is weird.
I've noticed.
So I never really fit in there. So at the age of 15, you go through a sort of ritual in nature as a coming of age.
Okay.
I passed it. I didn't bother to go back.
I don't blame you. They sound like assholes.
They were okay, but they were very distant. They weren't mean to me, but they were very distant to me, and I just didn't feel welcomed there. So I left. I went across the valley between worlds, which was nearby, and ended up in the land of reeds, the world of reeds.
What's that like?
Wet, humid. It's where I met the lizard men.
What do the lizard men tend to do?
They were hunters mostly. It's where I learned from them most of the hunting techniques for what I know, and picked up some here and there from this world as well. But
This is not a hunting question per se, but I love dogs. Do you know whereabouts I could find a dog?
No, not on this one. I find dogs. I mean, they're useful in some hunts, but for long travels, which I do so often, they don't travel as well as I would like.
What animal do you find to travel well?
None really. Jumping between the worlds is not great. Is not great for most animals.
When this is all over, will you maybe take me to another world? Because this one kind of sucks.
Yeah, I could probably arrange. I could probably arrange that. I've only been to this one and 2 others though, so
That's 2 more than I have. Unless you count that fairy dust trip I just had.
Anyways, continuing on. The Blizzard Wolf were fine people, but they were massive assholes.
The lizard folk were also assholes?
The kobolds weren't assholes. They were just distant. The lizard folk, they were very much competitive assholes. If you didn't do well, they were assholes to you, and they expected
sound a
you
lot
to be
like-
assholes back.
They sound a lot like Tudor.
Anyway, I left them after a while. Stayed there for probably 5 years, and then moved on. Came back to this side, avoided Skriel, wandered here, and then booked travel to the world of sand and sun.
That sounds nice.
Hot, dry, but
Oh,
I spent most of my time there. I only came back to this side about a year and a half ago.
what'd you come back for?
Well, I lived near the giant city in the canyon, in the sand and sun. Well, near it at least. And there are certain people you shouldn't anger there.
I see.
I
yeah.
shouldn't probably go back to that city.
Can I ask you one question? And this is more in the name of Solos than anything else.
Sure.
Have you ever wondered if you're the problem?
For that particular one, yes. I probably was the problem. I fucked up.
Why don't you tell me what happened? Because, man, you want to talk about fuck-ups. Look at my life.
Maybe some other time. Honestly, a lot of it loses its effect if you don't have the context. And I don't really feel like going into a multi-day teaching lesson on the sun, on the world of sun and sand, if we're not actually headed there.
I understand where you're coming from. Fair enough. Let me ask you this, and I know we just met, and this is crazy.
But here's my number.
Do you think I need to kill Tudor? You heard the story.
Hold up one sec. I want to do a quick roll.
Okay.
Okay. So, I just gave my own character an intelligence roll to think about how to help me determine how to answer that question. So, he seems like a terrible, terrible leader, and removing him is probably good. But unless there is a replacement active, killing the head of a state, probably without a stable replacement, probably not a good idea, as that just leads to a hell of a lot of fighting.
Do you have any interest in being queen?
Fuck no. Being tied down to one place like that, there's a reason why I travel so much.
I hear you. I hear you. All right, well, I guess we should get on our merry way then.
Yeah. Okay, and a little out of character thing. You want to hear something that's kind of funny?
Always.
Well, at least Kyla, Brother Bonk, and Fairheart all have the same armor class.
That's fucking weird. I have to carry this heavy shit around, but y'all are just like good.
You're
To being fucking human.
well, Brother Bonk and Kyla are both dexterity-based characters. And so when we will dodge attacks, you'll just let stuff hit your armor.
Yeah.
And that's the real difference.
Okay.
But yeah, we're all 20s.
Oh, wow.
Anyways, all right. What's next? Or is that it for now? Because next up would probably be combat.
DM?
Rick?
I'm building.
Okay.
X scene was also for some reason not in the fucking.
Oh, okay. If it matters, Kyla does have a 4-person tent.
Oh. Well, I tell Kyla that I need to be alone in the nature, and you know what I'm going to do, Rick, and you probably do too, Ben, but the audience doesn't.
I don't think Ben does either, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Anyways, I actually bought it for herself because gigantic ass tail.
Yeah.
But she doesn't mind sharing. It's
Yeah, no, understood. But Fairheart needs to go to the forest to do something, or any isolated natural place.
yeah. I don't think we're stopping for the night yet, though. I think we still have one more encounter thing to do.
Okay.
Don't understand why it's not fucking working. Oh, there we go. That's why. Okay, it is. Fantastic.
Oh, and just to let, I guess, you and Rick know, when Kyla says other worlds, what she really means is traveling to the other sides of Galil.
No, I figured.
She's not
on-
actually...
Yeah.
It's just like the context, because they're so different from each other. And to get to them, you have to travel through very specific places to go from one place to another. In her mind, they're just other worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of honestly how most of the people on the planet would think about things, I think.
Rick, would I know about the giant bridge, the Giant's Bridge, or whatever the fuck it's called?
No.
Oh. That's on the Sand and Sun. You've never, Fairheart's never been there.
I wouldn't even have ever heard like stories or tales.
No, it's not even actually possible without the aid of magic to go directly from this side to that side.
Oh, I got it.
I always thought from this side to that side it was possible via Underdark tunnels.
I mean, yeah, pretty much all of is going to be Underdark tunnels, but
that would be an expensive trip.
Actually, even there, you really, I mean, because Crack City, or the Crack, is between this side and that side.
Okay.
Like, the border that Crack runs along is what created the Iron Spine Mountains that are on the north end of this side.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, that's actually probably, aside from going all the way across to Lakeram, that's probably the most difficult transition.
Okay.
Because you actually have a cave that runs through to Cremil, the forest side, without going under dark depth, just like a kind of a straight through passage. And then there is Hackeford's Crossing takes you to Dushonit. And I don't actually have one specific passage going over to Alephatem either.
Okay.
In the character write-up for Kyla that I made, I just went like she bartered passage through the Underdark to get to Desert Side, and then recently basically did the same thing except in reverse.
Yeah.
Which does mean she is extremely well-traveled, probably more well-traveled than most people on the entire frickin' planet.
Oh yeah, absolutely is. And yeah, you actually, because you went from main side to swamp side to desert side back to main side.
The way I wrote the story was main side to swamp side to main side to desert side to main side.
Okay, that's actually probably easier because I don't. Do you think you can add in forest side or water side?
Probably, but I didn't really see a need to go to those ones. But I mean, yeah, probably could fit those in.
Yeah, just because I honestly like, yeah, the transition from main side to desert side is very problematic because so you would have to go super deep in the Underdark to get under the
So, which one do you think? Water side, ocean side, or forest side?
I'm inclined to say water, actually, just because we already have forest side represented twice, actually, with Drusilla and Lurith. They're both from there. So going the route of Eliphatem, because we don't actually have any ties into that side at all.
Right.
Not saying that it's gonna, come up or that we're gonna go that way, but at least it puts the seed there.
Yeah. Well, for the water side for Kyla, since I don't have anything written, I figure she just passed through.
Yeah,
like
basically.
Went there. Everything's water. It's like, fuck this, I'm moving on, and moved on to desert.
Yeah.
Kind of like driving through Kansas. You would stop if there was anything worth stopping for.
I would so much rather Kansas over Texas. Okay.
So what can she not do?
She can do anything she puts her mind to.
I'm actually looking at skills.
Okay.
And seeing what she is terrible at. Deception and diplomacy are -1. So she's not great at talking to people.
I'm apparently very good at that.
Performance, so she's not good at entertaining people. She doesn't give a fuck about religion or most magic.
She's gonna have a good time traveling with a paladin. A stone paladin.
And she's not a very good thief. But that's fine, because I don't think we need that right now.
Yeah, it's not like we're going to go somewhere where we need to disarm traps, right?
Well, on 3.5, that would have been a different skill, but this one, it's probably, thievery. Actually, you could make an argument for crafting being disarming. There is an argument for it to be made there.
Okay.
Especially considering Kyla's a hunter and traps and snares for animals are a thing for hunting sometimes.
What about the fact that she's a fucking kobold?
Most just assume she's a lizard folk. Which is
yeah.
still really freaking weird to be on this side, but maybe not unheard of. Especially since there's a valley you can a deep cracked valley you can travel across to get from main to swamp?
Yeah, lizard folk are definitely not unheard of, but they're very uncommon on this side. It's just too dry for them.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so most just assume that she's a lizard folk.
No, fair.
I didn't activate this.
She does have magic, though. A little bit, not very much. Most of it's like personal one-time things.
Mm.
All right, so this is going to be the next scene. You guys have continued eastward, and there has not been anything else particularly of note. You have passed through rolling countryside, and you have seen some magnificent beauties of the natural world off to both sides, the south and the north. You can see that as you have gone along the road, there have been places where you've been able to catch a glimpse of the inland sea and see the very strange to us sight of almost like, imagine you have a flat table, right? And you take a fucking dropper of water and you drop just one little drop on the table. And then imagine that you're an ant on the table looking at that huge fucking drop of water and the way that it just rises above the surface. Now scale that up to being human, and you're way far away, so you don't really see the whole thing. But that's kind of what that inland sea looks like. It's more of a pile of water on the ground.
Oh. I asked
Giant water bubble.
I asked Kyla if she knows anything about it.
This is general knowledge. You should know. Fairheart would know about it as well.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
how the inland seas work, or how the inland
Is now about the time for darkness and sleeping, or do we still have traveling to do?
You're in the period where the sun does not go down. The sun will not go down until tomorrow night.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
When
sleeping during
you
the
were
day is
awake
something that's going to happen.
Hey, the sun was still high.
You guys were talking over each other, and I didn't hear very well.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ben.
So sleeping at the day is probably something that's going to happen at this point, because just like Alaska, there's a certain time where the sun just doesn't really set.
Okay, gotcha. Yep.
And that's just the way that Galil rotates. It happens fairly often.
Okay.
It is actually the structure of the week is based around that. So, like, you will have 2 hours of darkness tomorrow, and then you will have 4 hours of darkness the day after that, and then 6, and then 8. And then the next day, the sun will not come up at all. So that 8 stretches to that 10, and then the first 8 hours of the day afterwards. So, like, when the campaign started, you're in basically 2.5 days of straight sunlight. And then there is also 2.5 days without sunlight that happen midweek. And then the week ends, and the beginning of the next week is 2.5 days of sunlight. And that happens every week.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an odd schedule, but it's I like to think of it as just kind of Alaska weirdness. Just very regular.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have not been able to model it so that I can actually tell you where the actual position of the sun in the sky is. I have kind of an idea in my mind of how I would like it to work, but I don't really want to actually put that out there and then have that much more complexity of trying to make that model to actually work. So for right now, we're just kind of hand waving the position of the sun until I can actually get the rotation down hard, because the most, like, for this campaign, it's honestly not that
Important.
Okay.
because we're just on this side, but every other side of the world has a completely different fucking sun schedule because the rotation is so fucked up, and that's what gives us this kind of set schedule on this side, but everywhere else is completely out of fucking whack. So I want to get it properly modeled for all of the all three axes of rotation, so that I can know what it's going to look like, and then I'll be able to better describe like how the sun actually looks in the sky.
Yeah. That makes sense.
But yeah, this is the foothills of the Dragonmount. You can see that there are a bunch of trees around, and there are almost like tendrils of the mountain. It's not even so much like foothills, it's still mostly flat, but where there is elevation, it's significant. Like it just goes up.
Okay. So what are we doing?
I guess we can continue along.
Travel the world.
Why?
What's the name of the main side?
Mechala. Mechala. All right, that's why. It's, okay. Now. Almost wish now that I know they're leaving, or we're leaving at that point. I did know that they were going to be leaving early, but I almost wish y'all had just gone up to fucking Lakeside then. Because y'all could absolutely, just the two of you, keep going in Lakeside.
Yeah. Well, we can call it here and like do some filling out of stuff. We've met the party. We've gotten some progress in story. Fairheart was not the star of the show this time. Not entirely, at least.
I'm going to give the inspiration for this session to Brother Bonk. I will message Sharn and let her know.
Okay.
Well deserved.
By the way, add a hero point.
So we go from 0 to 1?
Everyone should have 3 hero points now, because you're getting 1 per session and nobody has used any.
Okay.
Right.
However, since you're all full, that means you will not be getting 1 at the beginning of the next session because no one has used any.
Yeah.
What are hero points used for?
Post advantage.
So re-rolling, like re-rolling once? Or
Rerolling when you're not happy with the roll.
Okay, action points from D20 Modern. Got it.
Yeah.
Except action points in D20 Modern are actually worse. You only get X amount of action points depending on what your class is every time you level up.
And I mean, there is more utility to the hero points as well. It's in the rulebook. You can look it up. I believe you can also use one to automatically stabilize if you're dying.
Yes.
And then so everybody can have 2 points and up to 1 inspiration point. So Kevin, you do still have an inspiration that you can use whenever, because you haven't used that either.
Yep.
From the first session. And then now Brother Bonk will have one from this session. I didn't actually give one out in the last session either. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to give that one to Ben. That's right. For leaving.
Oh,
For fucking half patches saying, you know what? I'm out this motherfucker. Screw you guys. I'm going not home. That was a perfect in-character decision, and I thought it was great. So yeah, that's right. I had decided on that, and then I had not relayed it to anybody else. But
So next time Half Patcher shows up, he has an inspiration point.
no, you as the player get the inspiration point, so you can use it for Kyla.
Okay.
And then the same thing with the hero points. Like I'll carry over from half patches to Kyla. I probably wouldn't do that in a case of like a character death,
Right?
Or maybe I would. I don't know. We'll deal with that when we come to it. But
I would say it depends on how the death happens.
Yeah, also true.
If you go and poke the Tarask in the butt, you kind of deserve that death.
yeah, that's kind of a fuck around and find out kind of thing.
But you might also.
I'm going to Steve Irwin this shit. Let's see how this Tarasks.
Oh, Steve Irwin.
So, Kyla's never going to call the sides by their names, just to let you know.
That's fine. She doesn't know them.
Yeah, she knows them by her own terms.
Yeah, I mean, like, these words, these are the names of the dragon. They're literally not known to anybody on the world. Like, you will never hear somebody say Kamidora as referring to the desert side of the planet, because they don't know that name.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm going to go hit the head. I will be right back.
Are we still supposed to be live, or can we go off?
Kill the broadcast.
What?
You can kill the broadcast. We're just hanging now.
Well, thank y'all for hanging out with us tonight. It was nice to have you all here. On behalf of Rick and the rest of the Dragon Memories / Galil group, thank you for hanging out. We will be back here next Thursday.
Thursday after Thanksgiving.
Oh, the Thursday after, because American Thanksgiving is next Thursday. The Thursday after at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, which is, I believe, 1 a.m. UTC. So thank you all for hanging out and have a wonderful night.
See y'all.